Arabata, those are the words of an Islamic imam from the north who has been shouting that the Nigeria should be splitted immediately. Let us quickly watch this video together.
A ra'ayina da masu ra'ayi irin nawa ƙasar nan ta rabu. A raba ta kawai. A raba ta Oduduwa su ɗauki nasu, Biyabara su ɗauki nasu, mu musulmi mu ɗauki namu. Wallahi wannan shine solution. A raba ta, a raba ƙasar, wannan shine ra'ayinmu, a raba ta. Su ci man su umma mai ɗin ne. A bar mu da shanunmu, a bar mu da wakenmu, a bar mu da gyaɗanmu, a bar mu da a bar mu da gyaɗanmu, a bar mu da shinkafanmu, a bar mu da dawanmu, a bar mu da geronmu. Ku je ku ci fetur ɗin, ku je ku ci. A raba ƙasar, mu samu mu ɗabbaka shari'ar musulunci. Ba wata shegiya Ngozi ko Dabora da za ta zo tafi tsirara suke rabin mamanta a waje ta ɓata tarbiyyar 'ya'yanmu, ta ɓata, ba shegin da ta yi haka da sunan constitution ya bada right. Babu wannan. A rabu kawai. Wallahi rabuwan ƙasa ne shine alheri ga musulunci, ga musulmai. Wallahi tallahi shine. Kuma shine munafukan cikin mu da su ƙara bayyana mu gano su, ko kudu ko arewa. Wallahi a raba ta, domin ba za mu yarda ana kashe mana 'yan uwan musulmi ba, mu kuma su suna zaune a nan lafiya. Ba zai yi ba. Gwamnati ki ta kinnot, ba za mu yarda ba. Ba za mu yarda a kashe mutane musu suna zaune a lafiya suna ɗebe matattalin arzikin ƙasa ba. Ba za mu yarda ba wannan ba. An fa zo wajen red line, ba za mu yarda da wannan ba. Shine gaskiyar magana, ba za mu yarda ba. Yawwa, ko da a yi stopping ko kuma a yi yaƙi, wannan shine gaskiyar magana.
From that video, you can see that Alpha, who commands, I believe, a very large mass of population, who is aggressively and bitterly stating that Nigeria must be divided between the Christians and the Muslims. He is claiming that the whole north, right, the whole north, which is the core north down to the north central, is a Muslim-owned land, and Tinubu should split it immediately between the north Muslims and the southern Christians. That the southern Christians are the one corrupting their children. Is that the southerners, which includes the Biafrans and the Oduduwas, that they can go, that they should go, that they are the one not allowing Sharia law to be fully implemented across board because of the Nigerian constitution, that they do not want to belong to anything called Nigeria again. You can see that this guy is not talking about self-determination or anything. He is only simply a religious bigot. The Fulanis have been able to conquer all the northern other ethnic tribes. They invaded their land, gave them their religion, and then collected their ancestral heritage, traditional cultures, and all, using Sharia law to blind their eyes. Look at what is going on in southern Kaduna today. In southern Kaduna today, the only reason why there's so much unrest is because the Fulani caliphates have always wanted to ensure that the whole of southern Kaduna gets converted to Islam. Look at what is happening in the core northern states. Majorly, the Hausa children today, all of them have been turned to destitute rascals. They have been turned to son of nothing. They tell them that they should go into elementary schools, they should abandon Western education, and meanwhile, go and look at those who are the children of their leaders. I mean, we all know that their leaders are majorly Fulanis, right? Now, the sons, the children, the daughters of these their leaders, most of the time, even go to Western universities. Most of the time, their children go to higher educations. But they come out to deceive them that there's something called Boko Haram, that the Western education is against Islam, that invention is against Sharia law at this age and time of the 20th century that we find ourselves in. You can see this imam clamoring. He is not even shouting more than the bereaved. He is shouting, they have never lost over 3 million to 4 million people. In the recent time, we can see the Biafrans have been quiet, not as if they are not still struggling for their emancipation. But it is now the Fulanis who are now crying left, right, center, getting frustrated. They are saying that if the Igbos, if the Biafrans want to have their country, Rabba, just cut it into pieces, that they are okay with their own oil, which is groundnut oil. They are okay with their cashew. They are okay with their corn. That we should take our oil. They want to see how we will live. That we should go and eat our crude oil. It is interesting, it is now extremely funny to me that, okay, now we have always been clamoring that we want to have our region. In the First Republic, when Awolowo was out there shouting that this country wasn't meant to be, this is not a nation, that Nigeria is just a geographical expression, that we are too divided. We all have our different ideologies, that even at best, let us have what we call confederation. But you can see the likes of Yakubu Gowon, the likes of Shehu Shagari, the likes of really past leaders who never knew, who didn't understand these things because of the oil resource, because of the oil and gas money, because of that thing that they find at the backyard of the old eastern region. Of course, because of that oil that they find in Ondo, right? Because of that thing, the Fulanis have always never wanted this country to go. The poor ones now, the religious extremists now are now shouting, we want to go, just divide it, scatter it. By all means, we need more of you to come outside and do this evangelism. We need more of the northern clerics to come outside and do more of this evangelism, because in the southern part of Nigeria, let me tell you, what you see is the body. The soul is long gone. The Biafrans have left this contraption since over 50 years. The Oduduwas, they don't belong here. When the Fulanis tried to take something through the back corner, they succeeded in a very bad way. But now they are trying to have another incursion to extend their caliphacy into this Yoruba land. They face major resistance. Okay? They face major resistance. They say they want to implement Sharia law in Osun State or your state, that you as an Oduduwa person will no longer have that capacity and, of course, that chance to practice your traditional cultures, where you want to maybe worship your idols. It is none of your freaking business. But they are so hell-bent that if Yoruba'S, who are Muslims, must be called real Muslims, they must adopt Sharia law to the fullest, where the women wear veils, where the men wear short a trouser that doesn't touch their ankles. They call them tabligh, whereby when you do something little, you might just find yourself amputated and all that. Now, these are the things they want to bring down. They're not talking on, let us bring science and technology. They are not bringing on, let us bring innovation. They're not bringing us, let us see how we can catch up with the rest of the world in artificial intelligence. They want to bring Sharia. The Sharia issue is what becomes so important to them. The Sharia, the Islamic rule, is what is so important to them. I am so disgusted with people like this, who are still in the past. And this is why the Southerners have always shouted that the Northerners, you know, and when I mean Northerners this time, I want to apologize to my Middle Belters, because I know the Middle Belters are way and highly enlightened, because they don't reason like camels, they don't reason like cows. But I mean the Northerners, I mean those called Northerners who are Islamic extremists, who think that the world will only move forward when you practice Islam. But they don't know that even where Islam originated from, today in Saudi Arabia, down to Iraq, Iran, Yemen, and all that, they are now even liberalizing their economy. They are now opening up. They are now trying to do away with some Sharia extremisms, because they have seen that this will not bring development. This will not bring advancement to their people in any way, form, or shape. Saudi Arabia today, if Sharia Arabia was a Sharia practicing nation, they shouldn't have accepted technology. They shouldn't have accepted science and engineering. When America landed and found the oil and started drilling oil for them back then, they should have said, this is against Sharia. Please go. Please, we don't want. Our Allah will send us to hell. Oh, what utter nonsense. Absolute rubbish. I'm going to play another video for you where another cleric, I think this is a northern cleric also, in 2017, also came out, started saying that Nigeria should be split, that they've had enough. My plea is, we the Southerners at this time, we need to galvanize ourselves. The Southern Nigerians at this moment, let me tell you, the Igbos and the Yoruba'S will successfully live together, prosper together without any issue. You see that discord, that animosity between the Yoruba'S and Igbos has always been planted by those elements from the north. They are the one that will come and say that the Igbos are evil. They will come out and say that the Yoruba'S are liars. They will come out and say that the Igbos are greedy, that we do not want them amongst ourselves. So if you want any political position, you must not do with the Igbos, but we will give you the vote because we have a large population. And before you know it, that hate start developing amongst the two. You can see when Nnamdi Azikiwe wanted to become the first president of the nation. He was convinced, he was confused by the Fulanis. They gave him so many conditions. They started telling him, you must do this with your people, you must deny this from your people, you must have this relationship, you must be in bed with us, we must do this, do that, do that. Enough is enough. Everybody is tired of the Fulani hegemony. Everybody at this stage has seen that the Fulanis are nothing but empty barrels who are just after people's land and resources. They are usurpers, parading themselves as human of God. They bring religion to you, telling you that Islam is the religion of peace. Islam is the only one religion that will they keep short? The same God who created these idols, created Muhammad, created Jesus, created all these things. And amongst humans, there are no superior. They look you as a lesser being if you say you are not practicing Sharia. At this stage, we the Southerners, we have to unite. Our religion doesn't necessarily have to be the same, but we have to unite so that we can be cut away from these people. Another word that guy said, that cleric, that imam, in fact, that imam needs to be arrested. He sincerely needs to be arrested. I don't think a pastor will sit on a pulpit and, spill these very terrible words out without the DSS picking him up in less than 72 hours. He said that they will not watch their Muslim brother killed, that they will also retaliate, that those who are not practicing Muslims will also not know peace, issuing such death threat to certain Christians, issuing death threats to even non-Christians, issuing death threat that a Christian is not worthy to live in the North, issuing death threat that for as long as you do not believe in that word, Muslim, Shariah, and if any of your brother gets killed in any part of the southern Nigeria, that if you find yourself in the North, your life is not secured. I mean, these are his words. These are his words. The Fulanis are always out there parading themselves as people who are above the law. And yes, I have come to that moment, to that stage, that I begin to reason with my brothers from the East, who have always said that Nigeria belongs to the Fulanis. I have come to that stage to somehow agree with them, the Biafrans who have always said that Nigeria is not built on an ideology, that Nigeria is built on the greed of just few guys in power, where the majority are Fulanis. Go and check the owners of the oil blocks in the eastern and the Niger Delta. Who owns the biggest refinery now? A Fulani man. If it was an Igbo man who wanted to establish that refinery, do you think he would have been able to do that? When Ibeto wanted to come out and compete, we all know the negotiation the former president had. There was just one request, and Ibeto, through policies, was handicapped and he went bankrupt. Today, if any Southerner tries to stand, you will start seeing so many policies that will frustrate him, because Dangote must survive. We have had more northern leaders. How is the northern development? The most successful businessman in Nigeria, a Fulani, right? What development and contribution has he made to the northern part of Nigeria? There is nothing wrong in Dangote contributing 20% of his wealth to ensure that North develops. Nothing. A Michael Carnegie of the United States of America donated over 50% of his wealth in building libraries and schools. But you know what? The Fulanis do not want the Northerners. But when I'm talking about the Hausas in a large proportion, the Gwaris, to have what we call education. They always want them to be below them in education, in wisdom, so that they will always have the capacity to rule over them. Let's watch that video of 2017 together. Let's watch it together.
The North, a critical player in the Nigerian project, hereby declares that it will no longer be disposed to coexisting with the Igbos and shall take definite steps to end the partnership by pulling out of the current federal arrangement. 2. This conclusion is necessitated by the realization that it since ceased to be comfortable or safe to continue sharing the same country with the ungrateful and cultured Igbos who have exhibited reckless disrespect for the other federating units and stained the integrity of the entire nation with their insatiable criminal obsessions. 3. Rather than certain sections holding the whole country to ransom at every stage, each should be allowed to go its own way, as we categorically proclaim today that the North is fed up with being the same country with this pack of acrimonious Igbo partners. 4. The North hereby openly calls on the authorities and other national and international stakeholders to acknowledge this declaration by taking steps to facilitate the final dissolution of this hopeless union that has never been convenient to any of the parties.